The beautiful, the lovely, the gorgeous Rachie McFlizzy in the place today. In the
Hey,
place
everybody.
today. Yes.
Hey.
How you feeling today, Rachie?
I'm doing well. I know, honestly, seriously, people, Ed says that, but truly, please don't put him in a box. I mean, he is fantastic.
All right,
He does
yeah,
all kinds of fun things and loves on people so well. So I just want to say thank you, Edwin, for just how you extend to people, how you just
Yeah.
want to make sure that people are cared for, seen, really being the best self that they can be. And I know that's an element that you're really gifted in, to just really help draw out the best in people.
We all
kudos to you.
Kudos to you. We all have a place. We all have a place at the table, man.
Yeah.
Everybody has
Yeah.
a voice.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to bring that out, to empower people and bless people and encourage people, right? If you've been encouraged, you want to encourage others. And, and likewise to you, Rachel, you are just such a, we joke about, the walk in lavender and the peace that happens when people are around you. There's just a calmness and a stillness and a peace that God gives you. And it's needed, because everybody running around crazy half the time, and you just God's got it.
I just want to press into the Lord,
And that's real. That's true. I see it all the time.
I pray that that's seen, that the Lord is seen. So
yeah. Sometimes people are like, man, bro. I had a homie who was like, bro, when were you an actor? And I was like, that's actually a great question.
Oh, you're bringing it out?
Yeah,
you're gonna do it right now?
No, I'm not gonna do it.
People.
For what? This isn't why I say actor, but I played John Q, by the way.
Oh, wow. We're really.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. I did the full scene, man. I was Denzel.
Okay.
When I was back at Alabama A&M. I was in like this theater class.
Yes.
And they was like, bro, hey, man, we need you to be Denzel.
Oh, wow.
And,
wow.
I mean, hey. I said,
you did what you could.
I said, is it Training Day, Denzel? Or is it Remember the Titans, Denzel? Like, is it Equalizer?
Oh boy,
Denzel?
Where are we going? Wow, we've got so much going on. Are you going?
Or is it like
I don't know where you're going now. You're
concerned father Denzel?
Okay.
Because Denzel, man,
he's got a wide variety.
He got a full arsenal,
right? Of options there of what he pulls out.
He does. But no, I always considered it like I toured with a production company, Bravehearted Boys and Girls, and I always said it was like part game show host, part
it was
actor,
so fun to watch
part
people.
rapper. It was fun.
I don't
We
know.
traveled around.
I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen him in live action, doing it. But truly, that was a treat.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I did. I thought it was fun and exciting. I really did.
Yeah. So I did that for about 3 years or so. And that was my little piece of, I felt like an actor in that aspect of just kind of you had to put on something,
What did you have to put on?
The armor of God.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Nice setup there. Nice. Yeah. We had to put on the armor of God. I'm not going to.
Okay. I thought I could do it, guys. I thought I could really, get so much excitement going that he was just going to automatically just jump right back into his acting gig. But maybe next time.
Yes. But anyway, it's funny how you can scroll on social media and discover new things. So 10 minutes before we even decided to do this podcast this morning, we found out that it was National Spouses Day.
Yes.
How amazing. How timely is it? Yes. That we are doing a podcast on National Spouses Day. Or National Spouse Day, right?
Yeah. I honestly,
how you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. We have so many fun things that we just say as our holidays. But I think honestly, I've had this book that I was given for Christmas that when you open it up, one of the things that it says is like talking about thankfulness. What are you thankful for? Because honestly, it can be really simple and really quick to be like complaining about your spouse and what they aren't doing.
Oh, yes.
What they didn't do, what they forgot to put back, what they, all these different things. That's really quick to do. But could we even be quicker to just take a second and reflect and say, what's one great thing that I love about my spouse? What's one great thing that I've appreciated about my spouse? And that's seriously, I appreciate, Edwin, that there's been so many, it's because it's painful. I'm about to
She
say
looked at me and just started laughing like, you're making this up right
no,
now.
I'm not making it up, but it's really painful to say because honestly, there are so many times when, especially so recently, you've consistently told me true things, and they've helped me grow. Like my goal this year, guys, was about growth, and my spouse was given to me to help me do that, to grow.
Yeah.
So I love the truth. Sometimes it hurts in the moment, but I just want to say thank you for saying true things to me because I need them for growth. So I it was tough to say.
No,
That's why I had the laughter.
Yeah, I mean, I think
hard.
it's good to have these. I don't know. I guess when you get married, there's like certain things that I guess you're supposed to say and not supposed to say, and that's just not on the table here. You know, we just say it. I think that, I think that comes with a trust and a confidence, and authenticity, and no, I do. I think it comes with like just knowing each other and just knowing each other.
Yeah.
We have each other's best interests. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
So yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. And for you, I am. Notoriously known for being late to the party, you know. Obviously, you see, you see things in many ways quicker than I do, and your discernment is amazing, and I'm thankful for it. You know, I guess sometimes you can not despise it, but just question or be like, nah, that ain't who that person is, or that ain't, you know, or just being able to see things. You know, you can see things in people that I many times don't see, and I think it has saved me many times, and it has protected me. So that's something that, and I always got to come back and be like, yep. You were right. You were right. I missed it. So happy National Spouse Day. I hope that this you know, I mean, they got days for it. Days, right?
For everything.
Holidays for
right.
days.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't become one, you know, where it causes like an argument.
Yeah.
Like you didn't remember it was National Spouse Day.
Yeah.
I know. They just made it up last year. Like they just put it on the books.
Yeah.
I know. Like,
yeah. Prayerfully not. But
right. But you know, we'll find something.
I mean, also on the same tip, don't make that whole extreme where you're like, oh, it's National Spouse Day. Oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, it's all my anniversary. Oh, whoop-de-doo. No, guys. No.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
Right.
Either,
So okay. How you feel about your Detroit, your just Michigan football? You being from Michigan, having an affinity for.
My sister sent this shirt to me like a while ago.
Right.
Actually, I decided to rep that. She wanted to make sure that I remember my roots, and I thought it was really cool that you know, some people keep hope alive.
Yes.
You know, I have heard some things about the Detroit Lions for a long time that they weren't going to make it, but look at them now.
Yes, look at them now.
Back then, didn't want me, but I'm just saying, this is exciting time for all.
Yes,
I've seen so many more people around in the area that have pulled out their Lions gear.
Yes,
just for such a time as this.
Man, they are going nuts in Michigan right now between the college winning the champion. Oh yeah, and. We do. We have so many.
Yes. They're just pulling it out.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's exciting, and of course, you know, U of M. This is exciting time for the whole metro area.
I hope they
in the Detroit area. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hope they win. I hope they go to the Super Bowl. If they go to the Super Bowl and play Baltimore, man, I'm like, I both teams I want to win. I want Lamar Jackson for Baltimore to win. And Detroit, man, it's just been but maybe, you know, with Michigan winning.
We're tough. We're resilient. We're going to be there regardless. We're sticking things out. You know, don't come for Detroit. You know, come on.
Detroit over everybody, right? You know, so, man, they doing their thing. Excited for the people here. I'm not, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for what they're doing.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of excitement.
Right. So we're just excited to be able to continue just to do bring hope in a hostile world.
Yeah, for
right?
sure, for
And
sure.
today, I believe that we're just in a season of kind of resetting. We done had all this snow. What was it? 4 inches, but 4 inches will shut it
kicker
down.
is the ice. So yeah, we had the snow, but the kicker is the ice. That's just true anywhere you are. Ice is not something to play with.
Right.
You want to just be aware. And for those again who have not been in some of the back road areas in the area, in this area and other rural areas, it can be really tough, especially for the safety of the bus drivers, new drivers, old drivers that forget about what it feels like to be on the snow. And like I said, ice is no joke for anyone.
Yeah, but even with
tough.
that, shutting down, being a lot of people were maybe in homes. Maybe people were, maybe parents was like, "Man, I'm waiting for school to start back
Yeah.
up." Maybe teachers was like,
I'm not.
I'm
Maybe it was a mutual kind of thing here
I don't
happening,
know.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the dynamic
Sure,
of
sure.
walking with the next generation.
Everyone loves
what they call it, the alpha generation.
Yeah,
now,
but I
you
mean,
know?
like,
It's
seriously,
just,
I think coming off of a holiday break time anyway, like you had the winter break,
right.
just it's always those moments where it's like, okay, if it could just snow just a little bit, like everyone could be cool with just having a time off. But then the reality is you have to catch up. That's the hard part.
Right.
It is the
right.
catch up.
So,
And obviously
Yeah.
for us, we had a whole event that we have to reschedule.
That's right.
It's tough. I mean, and to think about those there's just so many different aspects, and people are in different spaces where some are like, yay. Others are like, wow, that's tough. What are you doing? I have to reschedule and or cancel altogether.
Yes. So for me, it allowed us to reset a little bit, and like not getting on these roads here. And
Yeah.
sometimes we do need
forced reset.
Yeah, right. Those are
Would you normally take them?
absolutely not.
If-
No, absolutely not not right.
Yeah, in the busiest time of year.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
year.
So, but yeah, I hope that people are, have been encouraged and be able to, have those force. Sometimes we, that week off, he was like, oh no, this is, you felt like we was going back in the pandemic
Oh, yeah.
for a second.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, we got to get out the house. We got to move here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but no, resetting, refocusing, setting the priorities in life is necessary. It's important whatever career or dynamic or field that we're in, whether you're a student or leader. Sometimes it is good to have these resets
Right.
and to refocus. I just feel like that just across the board.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
even going into the new year can create this busyness of what I have to do.
Right,
And
right.
sometimes it's good to harp on really having those Sabbath moments. I was reading some books on Sabbath and just resting. We know that Jesus is our Sabbath, but many times we don't apply that well, especially in this culture.
Yeah, like bringing it present. Like how do you even do that? Yeah,
Right.
some people carve it in.
And you can
like
be
a
moving and
schedule.
still have rest. Don't get it twisted. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead.
Well, like people carve it in sometimes as a schedule to like I'm intentionally making sure that I am really taking some deep breaths, really having a moment to even just reflect in my day. I think we schedule everything else, might as well schedule in some time to
Right.
rest and reflect.
Right. So yeah, I'm thankful for that. I hope that we just can find that balance. Some people don't have opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
If you are a single parent
Yeah.
mom, where can you find
Right, rest.
like
Yeah.
like practically
Yeah,
and a
for
like
sure.
a real thing.
For
If you're
sure.
if your resources aren't there where I can just take a vacation and get away,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
everyone doesn't have these options.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, Lord, are you can you sustain us? Can you keep us, in the midst of not having, maybe the things that we need. So
Right.
it's important to
Right.
to truly lean on him and to seek him in those things, and even just to find community, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like the whole village,
Right.
where we live in such a
Yeah, no, that's
in-
really good. That's really good.
we live in such an individualistic community
Yeah,
world,
yeah.
and everything is just kind of like you're on your own. Even when people say they want to help, sometimes it might not feel genuine, or it might
Right.
not feel like that's just we just talking. It's just
Yeah.
kind of a banter
Yeah.
back and and forth, but
Yeah.
is it authentic? And,
Yeah.
and I think that, and on the flip side, there are people that are, genuinely caring and want to, help and
So true.
assist. And, and we try to be as genuine with that. It's interesting this year we set forth to even put forth as the temperature shifted, we set forth to put forth a warming station, right? And as organic as we wanted it to be, it wasn't necessarily as complimentary. And you sometimes have to go back to the drawing board and
Yeah.
say, well, how can we do things
Right.
a little bit better?
Right.
Or how can we be a little bit more logistical? But many times you just have to start
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to see where you are,
Yeah.
because you will never, ever know where you are if you don't begin, or just
Yeah.
take that step of
Yeah.
faith. So even with resetting, refocusing, reorganizing,
Right,
and setting our pathway forward, God gives us the blueprint, but he many times doesn't give us the full layout.
Sure.
So
And you're great at that. Just taking an action step. Might not be the full
what's up,
picture.
Brother Dan? Yes. Good to see you, brother.
hey.
Good to see you. Yes, sir. Cousin Diana, good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, go ahead, babe. Yeah.
Yes, it truly may not be the full picture that you've been given, but you
Yeah.
feel like you've been given enough to say, I'm gonna do the best I can with what I've got. So that can be scary for a lot of people who are not leapers, that don't like jump out and say,
right.
oh, I'm gonna just do this. So
Yeah.
but I here's what I encourage, guys. If you're not that guy, if you're not that person, link up with a person
That's
who,
what I was
who
gonna say. Yeah.
is
Right.
who can encourage you to move your feet a little and kind of step out there, because and that's what the whole point of community is all about, is, we're utilizing one another. We're working together with each other. I thought about that, growing up, I had great neighbors that
Yeah.
were really available, and they were like, I'm going to look out for, when my brother and I would come home from school, something like that. And we always just had people around that we felt like could
Yeah.
really be there for us in the event that there was emergency or something like that. And I don't want to take that for granted. I know that has been something that I truly have valued and continue to have. I mean, my dad was just very active in making sure he got to know his neighbors, and we've talked with people, around there, like we haven't done that as much anymore. But I do think this is a time that we can really, reach out to one another and just know that there are people that care. There are people that want to help.
Right. Absolutely. It does. It takes community. It takes picking each other's brain. It takes, like the different personalities, different temperaments. It takes the different experiences. Like we truly can go further if we're working in harmony with one another, and realizing and recognizing that, my limitation is not truly a limitation. And my strength is not someone else's limitation, right? So and things take time, so for people that are quick to be able to go and to pursue something, like that's great that they recognize, it's not going to be perfect on the front end.
Sure.
But they need those people that can come alongside and be like, hey, let's tweak this, let's work on this, let's process this a little bit better. Let's actually hold up on, let's table this for a minute, just looking at the scripture. Sometimes the way we read the scripture, we read it as if it's like happening day by day.
Oh, yeah.
From Abraham and Joseph,
boom,
things are,
Is
but it's Paul. All of these people went through these purification, discipling processes, and it took
time.
years.
Yeah.
It took decades.
Yeah.
And in our culture, everything's
don't wanna
quick
wait.
and fast. And if it doesn't happen immediately, we are quick to give up. So I want to encourage you to stick with it,
Yes,
like to
that's
truly
good.
have that, as they say, the crock pot mentality. It tastes better in the oven. It tastes better in the crock pot, right? That microwave going, it ain't going, it might not cook the way you want it to cook.
Yeah.
It'll get it hot, but it might not be the way you want it done. So, stick with it. Keep going. Don't give up, find people, find wisdom, find resources,
Right, right,
whatever
right.
those things are, starting a business, going back to school, changing jobs, whatever that is,
Right.
raising children,
Right.
you are, our identity can't be found in how our children are looking at us or talking back to us or talking crazy or
That's
or sometimes there
And
can be
vice
such a
versa.
and vice versa and vice versa. Your identity it can't be fully found in if parents haven't been
It may be a bad day, a
ideal,
hard day, or
or
yeah,
dad
whatever.
hasn't been there,
Yeah,
mom hasn't,
yeah. That's not your complete identity. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's important to have those people that are going to rock with you, that's going to be with you, that's going to say, hey, you just got to keep, putting foot to the pavement
Right.
and working this thing
Right.
out,
Right.
So, and even enjoying the process. One of the things I love to do is travel. I love traveling. Do you like traveling, Rachel? Where?
I do. I do. I do. I do.
Who likes
love to
orange soda?
yeah.
Right.
I do love to travel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for me, I like if I'm traveling long distance.
Yeah.
I am wanting to prepare my mind to enjoy the process of the journey and not be like, are we there yet? Or just trying to get, and I think even in our faith, like God is not, I don't know how much more God is concerned with the final destination as he is in the character building and us being shaped
Wow.
and formed in his image, us being renewed day by day, us not growing in our fruit, growing in our gifts. Like many times we feel like or have this idea that God is trying to, like, of course God is wanting us to get to, to grow and to build.
Yeah.
But that can be a joy, and it's,
Yeah.
that should
Yeah.
be the
choose
joy.
joy. We should be choosing joy
Right,
for sure.
right,
Like,
right.
and not looking at that as a weight
Yes,
and a
come on,
burden.
God, come
Like
on,
I
God.
should be already at this point.
And that's hard. I will admit that can be difficult
Yeah,
and
it can.
challenging,
Yeah, it
and
can.
to enjoy the journey of like,
Yeah,
man, this
yeah.
is. I'm not necessarily where I feel like the full vision entails, but man, this is okay.
Yes.
So enjoy where God has you.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about like a godliness with a contentment. It
Contentment,
has
yeah.
great gain. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite scriptures.
Yeah,
It's like I
yeah.
brought nothing into this world,
Right.
and I can take nothing out.
Yeah.
But if I have
yeah.
food and clothing, I'm all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the sufficiency of the Lord.
Right.
Comparison is a thief of joy, right? If we are comparing ourselves to even our later selves, one thing I used to always say. Hey, one of these. I don't know if I should say this or not. Cut me off if I.
We're live.
We are.
so-
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you a second here. When you go live, you gotta quit. You gotta put a couple seconds just to process and be like, "Is this for everyone?" Listen, we keep it 1,000 here. So early on in our marriage, right? I just felt like I was never good enough for my wife. I felt like, what is it? I don't know if I'm good enough. Am I good? And piece of me was like, you know what? I do want to work and I do want to be a better husband. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that I'm doing okay, right?
You are.
And even understanding that, and we talked about this before, identity can't even be objectively
Yeah.
grounded in each other. We
Right.
talked about that. So essentially, I had a different name for my better self. I was like, yeah, I'm Edwin, but you looking for an Edgar. You're looking for it.
No, I wasn't.
And I can't be Edgar. And I was like, I don't know.
Edwin
it was
is
just,
great.
yes, but those first 2 years,
I won't dismiss your feelings.
those
though.
first 2
Yeah.
years were tough. The first year was tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, learning.
It was like, man, hold
growing.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second year better. Third year, okay, we good here. We
Yeah.
good. And but no,
always growing people.
So yeah, and I think it was interesting. So yes, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. My better self had a new name, had a different name than Edwin, but nevertheless.
And I saw
yeah, go ahead,
Edwin
go ahead.
as enough. You know what I mean?
Did
like,
you?
yeah. I mean, see, but you can be that person and still see things that you are consistently growing. And you didn't need a name that was different.
Amen.
To be able to grow deeper and become more of who God's calling you to be.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah. So
I saw the Lord stamping and utilizing you in beautiful ways. So
yeah, it was a fun little thing that we talked about and navigated through. And I think we have each other to help each other grow.
Yeah.
So don't dismiss your relationships, even the tough ones.
Yeah.
Even the ones that you gotta deal with every
Yeah.
single day,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Like this coworker that or my boss that I
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
like God's saying, okay, how can I? God's
Yeah.
always,
what looking
Chicken.
at self. Yeah.
And
how-
it's easy to point. It's
It
easy to
is,
point.
It is. And asking.
I'm guilty of it.
Right. And asking, okay, but what is it, Lord, that you want? I can have more of you. I just want to grow more in you. I want to know more in you in the situation. Right. I just don't want us to be so quick to cut off. It's not that we can't ever, part or say that this isn't good, this isn't healthy.
Yeah.
But let us not just be so quick to do it. It's quick to be angry. It's quick.
And honestly, if we want to go a little bit deeper, these are real life things.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be better of understanding the story, because I'm sure that many people weren't so quick at a time, right?
Right.
But maybe they have, poured themselves. So we get the back end of it,
right.
And you get like,
It's true.
I'm getting the.
That's true.
I'm getting the trauma response of it,
Right.
One of the things that I'm like, Lord, help me to truly, for the sake of, because it affects others,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Our trauma and the things that we maybe sweep under the rug, it is still there, and it will carry out into, especially in if you are. I think if you're an adult, you just become a leader wherever you are. It's not like we just, So being delicate with it. Trauma is real, and sometimes we take things at face value, and I've been guilty of that because you get hit, and then it becomes, you just walking in perpetuity here. It's just a cycle of trauma responses that's happening, and somebody has to break it. Somebody got to be like, hold up. Okay, God, hold on. Why did I respond so quickly?
Right.
Why did that person respond so quickly?
Right.
Right. And and many times with just the pace of life, we don't have time to, that's why we advocate for therapy and counseling along with the power of the Spirit, recognizing, hey, that's demonic, and recognizing, oh no, that needs just some counseling. That needs some intentionality. Some things are instantaneous. Hey, we need to cast a demon out. Hey, I'm just being real. And then other times it's like, hey, let's walk and actually many times it's both.
Yeah. Well, when we're when we're realizing that we are in a moment we're so frustrated and we're so angry and we have to ask ourselves, those why questions, and are trying to see like what's really separating us from the things that we should be walking healthily in versus the things that we're not walking healthily in. And then sometimes we need help navigating that. Did you?
Yeah.
Someone had a comment.
Yeah. Dr. Chester said, man, I like Edwin better, man. You don't really look like an Edgar. So honestly, I don't know any Edgars. All I know is Edgar Martinez, the baseball player. That's the only Edgar I know, but it just sounded a little bit more just higher esteemed up, So I appreciate that, Dr. Chester, man. Thank you, brother. Shouts out to Advanced Chiropractic over there in Lewisburg, Tennessee. Doing a thing over there. Yes. So, exactly. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's important for us to see, okay, maybe I do need help with trying to figure out my navigating my why once I even realize my why, if I even understand that. And then it just helps us to kind of communicate better and
Yeah.
learn each other more and deal with things differently. So we're not so quick to just be so mad. Instead, we're trying to like work well together. I mean, because we truly just need to be together and work well together, and just figuring out that how sometimes we need a third party. We need somebody else to kind of come
Yeah.
in and see like, okay,
Right.
maybe I'm not even seeing all.
Yeah.
Like, maybe somebody else can help me see it. You know?
Yeah. Humility is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Humility is a beautiful thing. And I think the older we get, the more we can become stuck in our ways. And, sometimes that's why there's a disconnect between the generations, is because I grew up this way.
Yeah.
And they're growing up in a different age and a different season and a different time. Or,
Yeah.
and the enemy does not like unity. He does not like, he wants discord. He wants comparison. He wants unhealthy competition.
Right.
And it's like, okay, man, if we could just recognize that there is a deceiver, an adversary that does not want this in the spiritual realm, that does not want this to work, that does not want unity to happen.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, am I enabling that? The world, flesh, and the devil, right? It's a 3-man camaraderie, right? So, and recognizing it is important.
Yeah.
And
for
then
sure.
okay. And then getting to a place, because some stuff can be so heavy and weighty. It's like, who can I even give this to? If I give it to a third party, will they be delicate with it?
Right, care about
and this
me.
is heavy.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
weighty.
Yeah.
Do I personally want to bring all this stuff back
Right,
up to the
to remember
forefront?
it, yeah.
I think one of the things the Lord does, God has an amazing way of taking his time with us, of many times we like to compartmentalize, but even God knows how to not give us too much, right? Not take us too far or too fast. And for someone maybe that's been in the faith for 30 years versus someone that's a new believer, sometimes we're trying to turn somebody into a pastor and they just, trying to figure out where to find the book of John.
Yeah.
And I it's just like God has he has a way of just being patient with us. He is
Right.
the Lord of patience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing, really. I don't know. I'm fascinated by how
The
God is
multifaceted-
able to navigate us through those tough times
For
and
sure,
tough things.
for
Yo,
sure, for
homie
sure.
D Walk, what up, Walk?
Hey.
My guy, good to see you, man. Well, I'm not seeing you, but good to hear from you. Yeah, go ahead, babe.
No, that's great. I think it's fantastic that what you're speaking to.
Right.
It's taking time. Again, we don't love to do that all the time, and we don't love to appreciate the time that it takes.
Right. Yeah.
But
one thing is funny, like even in working with people, sometimes you make an instant connection with people, and it's like boom. And other times, I'm going back to youth ministry, where it was like I was trying to break through with certain students, and it took years.
Yeah.
And and I have one person in mind. It's just like, but once we were able to kind of have some breakthrough,
Right.
it was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So and for years for at least the first year I was like, that's your
on your time limit.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
your
like,
child. That's your child. You got her rage. I can't do nothing. You got him.
Absolutely.
So, but relationships are a beautiful thing. God created relationship. He is in relationship even with himself. It's a beautiful triune God that we serve. Be encouraged today as we get ready to get out of here. Be encouraged. Know that God is faithful. He loves you so much. There is joy in the journey. There is patience. There's grace that is sufficient. for you. God is a gracious and loving God. He cares about you so much. And even in the midst of hostility and the things that people might not see, you might be on this page and another person might not be on
Yeah.
that page, but God will give you what you need to continue just to navigate, to move, to be a light, to be salt, to be secure. You know, that's a big thing. Just being secure in the Lord and in His strength. So He loves
Yeah.
you. He's with you. We are the Royal Podcast. We bring hope in a hostile world. We're so excited to be able to share life, to share hope, to be authentic, and we just pray that God continues just to order your steps,
Yes.
continues to give you the wisdom in whatever it is that you're going through or navigating through, whether you're on the mountaintop, whether you're in the valley, God is there, whether you're just in the plains, like kind of going through it. May it not be apathy, but may it just be, okay, I'm going to be still and I'm going to wait on the Lord right now. So thank you for all of our supporters
Yes.
that are allowing us to bring life, to bring hope, to bring 1 Peter 2, right? For we are a royal priesthood. We are God's chosen people
Yeah.
coming out of the darkness to proclaim His excellencies into His marvelous light. How great it is. So I am your boy, Eddie Mo. This is the Royal Podcast here with the lovely Rachel McFlizzy. And may God bless you. May God forever be with you and guide you. And if you're just interested in partnering with Moses Project, we are doing some amazing work in our community. Praise the Lord. God gets all the glory.
Amen.
We have been able to develop teams and people in different not genres, but different places just to serve the Lord.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in giving, go to our website, support the ministry that we are doing, not only here in the city, but also in Middle Tennessee as we are expanding out and moving and just allowing the Lord to do that. You can do that by giving as little as $5 a month, and it will go to the ministry. So we're just so excited. God bless you, and may you enjoy this amazing podcast that we got going on. God bless you all. Have a good day. All right. Peace.